Good afternoon, everybody. We have a special edition. We were trying to help out. One of our local programs here with the tribe, and they trusted us with the opportunity. To get out what their program does with our audience, which I think is very important. It's a big, it's an issue. But would you all like to introduce yourselves?
My name is Carmen Harvey. I am a victim services advocate for the Cheyenne Arapaho tribe.
My name is Richard Henson. I'm a victim service advocate for the Cheyenne Arapaho tribes.
Okay, thank you all for being here. It's a big deal to me that you trust us with our audience. We, just like substance abuse. This topic is something that isn't easy to talk about. There's kind of a stigma around. Who do you turn to when you're in these types of situations? So, if you would, tell us more about your program.
Okay. The Victim Services Program is a program that serves people that are victims of crime, and we serve um, tribal people, non tribal people in our service area, and also those that are not in our service area. We will find a referral to another program that's in their area, or if there's a program in our counties that we could refer to as well. And we service 11 counties, and those are all in the northwest area of the tribal jurisdiction service area. And our services that we provide are several, and they are food, shelter, clothing, um, legal aid. Just depends on what the services that are needed for that individual. Everyone's case is different and unique in its own way, but we want to do as much as we can to help provide services to them. And one of the things that I think is that's very important is uh, getting legal services for someone that's in need of a victim's protective order or a emergency child uh, custody, and to getting the legal services application completed by the Circles Project that is provided by the Native Alliance Against Violence program that's out of Norman. And to have that partnership is very important to be able to get legal services for those that need it. Um, and also, some of the other services that we provide are you want to go over those, Richard?
So we do community outreaches pretty often. We try to stick within our tribal jurisdiction of the 11 counties that the Cheyenne Arapaho covers. Um, we do court advocacy. We do long-term case management. So we want to see our clients do well. We want them, if they're unhoused, we want to see them get to a point where they can sustain themselves and get into an apartment and live well. Um,
And also, we want to do referral services to those that are seeking shelter and have nowhere else to go, because a lot of men, women, families are fleeing their situation. And there are several shelters in Oklahoma that are tribal shelters, and they're specifically for victims of crime. And uh, we collaborate with those domestic violence programs, shelters that are in the state. There's in the southwest, northeast, southeast. Just there's can't remember how many there are. Do you remember how many
There's
there?
like 9 tribal shelters that different tribes have around the state that we're open to all tribal members experiencing or violence. But yeah,
And we'll provide transportation to take them there, so that they can be in a safe place. And if they they can also take their families with them as well, not just the individual. And we can provide those services and continue to provide services to them as they're there. And then when it's time to continue those services with them, we provide that as well. But we, you know, always recommend shelters for our uh, people, because they're specifically for Native um, women and families. And we also help men as well in sheltered areas as well. So it affects everyone, men, women, children. So we want to do our best to provide those services to them. And the reason we're here is because we want to bring the awareness to the community, and the communities, into everyone to know that we're available. Our services are available. And you can find us in El Reno at 300 East Elm. And we have a phone number you can call us if you need us as well.
so we have a 24-hour crisis line. It is 405-422-7481, and I'll have them post it if you want to. Someone wants to post
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
It's our emergency line. So we take calls 24/7 to anyone in need.
What are the common barriers that you see, people that are going through these tough times? What are some of the barriers that you see a lot of them facing?
Almost always is housing and substance abuse.
Okay.
Mm,
That makes a lot of sense, to me,
mm,
because while in my addiction, I was a batter. I would be the first one to admit that. And being on this side of it and understanding, that's probably why me and my kid's mother couldn't be together. And even in that situation, I seen how I was working, she was working. I see how hard it was for us to choose to go our different ways, because of that situation. And looking back now, I understand how it would have benefited my kids, to for her to step up and say that we were having that type of trouble, because I can always say, I can always make excuses,
mhm.
for my actions, but I could never justify it to myself. I knew it wasn't right. And you know I think most people in a relationship with substance use behind it,
Mhm.
I mean, it's probably happening more often than not. And if you're not, going through these types of situations, consider yourself very, very lucky. Because I mean, more often than not, I mean, when you have substances that are involved, I mean, we all know that that can take over a person's life. Uh, I also understand that, um, you know, I don't want to say qualify, because
Mhm.
I hate to put that type of label on it,
Yeah.
but how does a person that may not know what it takes for them to receive your services, what type of ordeal would they have to be facing?
Um, so we are victims of crime. So we go through, if anyone who goes through assault, rape, goes through a robbery, is a victim of a homicide, their families, elder abuse, human trafficking, stalking, gang violence, trauma, child trauma, stalking, everything, to come see us. And we'll do the best we can to come help.
I never, that makes a lot of sense. When it's victims of crime,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking domestic violence.
Yeah.
But when you think about domestic violence, I mean, when I look at just busted,
Mm-hmm.
every other person in there is in there for domestic violence.
Yeah.
That's it used to be DUIs, now it's domestic violence.
Yeah.
You just see so many people in there for that. Um, do you all like provide counseling, and have we shared our information about Talkspace with you all?
Yeah, you have, and so we do referrals. We're not qualified to
Yeah.
do counseling, so we do referrals out to outside organizations, to either you guys or Red Rocks. I think we work with someone else in the city, but yeah, we just refer people out to do counseling.
Okay.
To the behavioral health, IHS, different things like that. And we
Mhm.
do hand out your information
Yeah.
from your program, the 988 as well. Information like that. A lot of resources, even within the tribe, any resources or programs that can help our clients, we're going to use those resources to help them along the way.
Well, that's great. I mean, just for a person to know that they don't have to go through these things by themselves.
Right. And also, it's not just our program that's available for them. There's also other programs like ICANN is another domestic violence program that's in El Reno. And there's Cardinal Point that's um, in the El Reno area as well. And YWCA in Oklahoma City, we partner with different ones. And we'll be having a community event coming up with all of these programs going to be presented to the community about their services that they have available, plus us.
Mm-hmm.
We have a flyer that we'll share with you that you can share with everyone on that's going to be on December the 16th at Concho, so everyone can come and learn about those resources that are available.
Good deal. So I also understand that you all operate under, a lot of confidentiality too.
Yep.
I think that's a huge deal. Because once again, that's part of that stigma.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe somebody's embarrassed, or whatever it is that might be stopping a person. I know that you all are very serious when it comes to being confidential, with that client.
Yep.
Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that part? Like maybe even the stigma of what maybe might be stopping a person about wanting to see what your program's about.
Yeah.
So you know how Indian country they talk.
Mm-hmm.
They love to talk. And so if a tribal employee comes in, that's why we're 24 or not 24. We're confidential
Yeah.
because we know how people talk. And we try to do our best. We do our best.
And we do have a, in our application process is the confidentiality form, and we let them know that everything that is said or anything about their case is kept confidential, and um, we keep that information confidential, and it's very important um, for our clients to know that we don't share that information,
Mm-hmm.
and we wouldn't
Yeah.
share any information with anyone about a client's case, because that's between them and us as their caseworker, to make sure that their cases is
Mm-hmm.
just between them and the program. So that's important to make
Definitely.
sure it happens.
Well, that's great. Is there any more? How many of y'all work in your department?
There's 5 of us.
5 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's not a big staff for 11 counties.
Yeah.
We understand that too, as there's only four of us to cover 13 counties.
Yeah.
So I'm sure y'all stay busy. But I'm sure you're not afraid to take a phone call whenever that phone rings. That's the same way with us.
Mhm.
But is there anything else that you would like to share about the program?
I don't think I have anything.
Now we had a gala back in
Oh, October.
Yeah,
October.
Our
I
missing and murdered Indigenous
yeah, I
people
got to go.
gala.
Yeah.
It was really good. We raised around 25,000,
Wow.
and in part of our program, we help some of our MMIP families, so we get to use that funding. I probably shouldn't say that way, but we get to use that to help these families.
Definitely.
So it's very important.
Yeah. So we hope to have another gala next year in 2025, and we'll be out looking for sponsorships for that as well. And it was a really good, and we want to help everyone
Definitely.
that are victims of crime.
I gotta say that was a great event. I got to sit next to Senator Boren. I was all nervous. Drop my fork. But I got to meet two senators there.
Mhm.
So it was a great event. And we're gonna try to do more of these. Where one of y'all come on and we just talk about what y'all are offering, your services, and how people can get more active,
Mhm.
as to, I hate saying, qualify for you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't,
Yeah.
it just doesn't sound right. But I'll figure out better wording next time.
Yeah, because we are, you know, if they're not in our county area, we're not just gonna say, "Oh, you're not in our county area. We have, we can't help you."
Yeah,
We look for a resource for them and make sure that they get the services that they need, even
definitely.
though they're not in our area, or even if they're not native. We're still gonna help them.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a great point too. Like we always say, addiction doesn't discriminate, so neither should recovery. So I understand that. I completely understand that. Um, so who's gonna come on next time?
I think it will be Bernice. Is going to,
Bernice?
yeah,
Mhm.
Bernice
Okay,
Armstrong.
yeah, I know Bernice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great. Is there anything else you would like to?
You want to share your story?
Uh,
Yeah, why don't you
I
tell us a little bit about your
Well,
story?
I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and that's you know one of the reasons why I am an advocate for the program. I've always wanted to be an advocate because I know what it's like to flee that domestic violent relationship, and to get yourself well, heal yourself through that, and you know, just whenever I was in that relationship, I would tell people, when I was there and wanting to flee, I had a bottle, I have a jar that I would keep money in, and then I put that jar in the ground, and whenever I'd have extra money, I would dig it back up, put more money in it. But that was my savings. I was going to escape with the savings that I had saved. But to this day, that jar is still in the ground. So, but I did get out of the relationship, and I, you know, just remember, you know, how that relationship was, and it's a total different person that I am today than I was back then. And I was so scared and so alone and so just helpless, And then whenever I did leave, um, I went on to get my education and to understand domestic violence. And that's when it really hit me hard that that was the life that I had, lived, and that, I wanted to help other women to become self sufficient and to heal from that. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm an advocate today. But I wanted to share that because I think when other women know that you've gone through it and you're a survivor, that they know that you understand what they're going through. But I just wanted to share that today.
Well, thank you. That is very empowering.
Mhm.
Just like substance abuse, we encourage more people to tell their story because more than anything, you're going to touch some lives and people will understand that they're not alone in this. They don't have to go through this by themselves. So I think, the services that y'all make available for anybody, I mean, it's great. We need more of that in this community. You know, and just anywhere basically.
Mhm.
So I just want to applaud you all for the effort that you're putting into our victims. I know that's, man, that's got to be tough. That's got to be a tough way to live. I can't even imagine. Having to go through this, but to understand that there is somebody here who has actually lived through this and is able to reach back and help the next person up. I mean, to me, that speaks volumes about the type of person that you are. So thank you for sharing, just that little bit. I mean, uh, just that little bit with our audience. I guarantee you're gonna make people feel better about maybe sharing their experience. So thank you. I don't want to keep sounding like I'm trying to cut y'all off, but is there anything that you would like to share?
Yeah. So I guess my passion kind of well, I was an addict first of all. I've been addict for years and years. I'm not anymore, but no, I went through some real rough times. I seen a lot of violence in my own home. Growing up with my aunties, I ain't never seen a healthy relationship, honestly. And I have an auntie that was murdered. And we see all these hard things in our community, and you really want them to stop,
Hmm.
but you can't just want it. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta make something happen. So that's kind of where my passion kind of arose in doing this type of work. Is you get tired of it,
Yeah.
and it needs to stop. So
Well, thank you. Thank you for
mm,
sharing that. I think y'all's bringing a lot more attention to something that everybody thinks. We can all sit here and say it, but to see you all actually doing it, I mean, that says a lot. I'm so thankful for your program. And what y'all are able to do over there. I love the red tie gala. I mean, that was my first ever dress up type thing. Where but I enjoyed it. I think y'all have a lot of success there. And it's just going to keep growing. So I appreciate you all trusting us with helping you get your message out.
thank you.
We really appreciate that. And we're always, whatever program it is, we're always willing to help out. So I love this partnership that we have going on. And who knows, it might become, you might not even need me on here, after a while, we're just happy that we can help out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I guess with that, we're good.
We're good.
Well, we appreciate you all coming on.
Right.
If you have any comments, I think we're gonna share the phone number, 24-hour phone line number, and you heard what these services are for, and I know that they will be willing to help you. So got to give a shout out to social services and victims services. So with that, I guess we will see you soon. Maybe next week,
Yep. Next week, next Tuesday.
next Tuesday. That yeah, I can't wait. Well, I guess that will wrap us up for the time. thank you everybody for
Thank you.
for watching. Maybe you can help get the word out about what this program, because somebody who needs